That's an excellent question. I'm a mother of a 16-year-old son, and one of the most positive pieces of feedback over the process of this election campaign was when I got home from a busy schedule, of course, and my son said to me, "Mom, I've got this friend named Foddy, and Foddy's very critical. He's very critical, but he told me that your website rocks." So I thought that was a good signal. It's really about talking to young people where they are, and a big part of where they are is on the internet, and that's where we need to be much better. And we're starting to work on that as a caucus. We have Rowena's here filming today, but we're trying to do that. We have to really kick that up quite a bit. I also believe there's opportunity in the school system. My son, of course, because he's got a politician mother, I've many times attended his classes and talked to young people when I was in municipal politics and again as an MPP. But we have opportunity there. People become politicized in their teens, not when they're in university. By then it's already happened. We need to get at those young people at a younger age.
Thank you. Gilles?
Well, this is where organizing really does come right front and center. Why is it that ONDY and the youth of this party are not able to build to the degree that they want? We don't give them the capacity to do so. That's why I argue that we need to have revenue sharing change, so that if you're ONDY, your LGBC, the Socialist Caucus, or the local riding association, that you can deposit money into your riding account, share a percentage of that back with the party, and have the money to do the work that you need to do in order to be able to support your activities as youth through ONDY or the youth through your own riding association. And I think the other thing is that we also need to take a look at how we work as a party together. One of the ideas that Micheal has talked about, and I agree with him, is bringing in youth into Queen's Park. Of course, we'd have to talk to our bargaining units because there's collective agreements, but we need to be able to bring youth into Queen's Park, into our constituency offices, into our riding association offices if we have them, in order to engage them in some sort of internship program where they can learn and we can learn from them. I think if we do those things, we have an opportunity, but most of all, we need to give them hope that we've the party with the ideas.
Peter?
Thanks for the question. There's no doubt in my mind that if we want to bring young people on, we have to talk to them about the issues that are foremost in their minds. Young people are concerned about jobs and their future. They're concerned about the environment, and they're concerned about the tuition burden that is being put on their backs. If we don't talk about the issues that matter to them, they're not going to come to us. If we don't go to them and talk to them, they won't hear us. We have to go out onto campus, into high schools. We have to go where young people are organizing now, where they're getting together now, and talk about what our principles are, because too many of them barely know we exist. And we have to speak, Andrea mentioned it, we have to use the media that young people use. Very few read newspapers, watch television news, they get their news on the internet, they text message. If we aren't in those media, and Obama did this very effectively in the primaries in the presidential race, we aren't going to speak to them. So there's a full range of things that we have to engage in if we want to have those people with us.
Thank you. Micheal?
Three things have to happen. First of all, we have to properly fund the ONDY clubs. Right now, they don't get anything at all. In fact, they just recently asked for some money from the Central Party, and the Central Party told them, no, you have to pay back a $5,000 debt that was put in there years ago by other ONDY clubs, you know, and that's just not fair. It's just not fair. These young people are coming and wanting to do something. So I think, first of all, we have to absolve them of that old debt, and we have to start funding them, and I'm suggesting $1,000 a year vested with the local riding association. Secondly, and I thank Gilles for mentioning it already, is I have advocated an internship program similar to what the Liberals and Conservatives have to give young people an opportunity to come to Queen's Park, to come to our Richmond Street office, to come to our local riding associations, to learn firsthand what it is to be a politician. I think if they do that, they're going to want to come in greater numbers. And last but not least, we have to democratize this party. We have to listen about what they say. We need to listen to their resolutions, and we need to change with them, because they are the way of the future, and we need to follow their resolutions in order that people and them especially will vote for us.
Well, I want to say again, my friends, Social Democrats, you Democrats all, if it was just the idea of issues, as Peter and others suggest, if we only had the right issue, youth would come and we would organize and it would be easier to get them out to our clubs. My friend, we are the party with the best ideas. We have been for 75 years. That we lack the capacity to follow through on those good ideas and organize. And that's why I'm saying we need to fix the revenue sharing. I say, you know, Micheal, I respect what you're saying in regards to giving money to ONDY, but how are we going to give them the money? The party doesn't have the money. We're going to give, what check are we going to write? The party's got a $4 million debt. And we need to take the issue of fundraising quite seriously. That's why I keep on going on this, because if we don't deal with the financial issues in this party and the lack of capacity to organize, we can have all the best ideas in the world. We'll still have the same electoral results. So I say, how do you build campus clubs? You do that by having the ability to fundraise so that campus clubs can fund themselves, that the party's got organized to help them, the organizers to help them, so that the campus clubs can afford to do some of the things themselves in consultation with the party. But most important, we work together as a collective.
But it's a little bit of a chicken and an egg, though, because you can't go out and organize if you don't have the resources to go out and organize. So I don't disagree with the theory, but the problem is putting that theory on the ground. And I believe we have great opportunity, not only through what I've already spoken about in terms of internet. I was actually at my son's school when the government came forward with their legislation of restricting the number of young people that could be in the car at one time. And they were really mad. And they asked me, what do you think? I said, I think it sucks. Anyways, they said, well, the government's not going to listen to us. The government's not going to listen to us. And I said, yes, they will. I said, you might be 16 now, but at the next election, you're going to be eligible to vote. I said, so you take your issue and you make it go viral on the internet. And mark my words, they're going to listen. And sure enough, the government backed away. Now that empowered those young people. Yeah. So we need to engage them on their issues in their medium and speak to them as if they have something to say that we care about. And that's the big problem that we have right now. We have a government that's had all kinds of children and youth issues. I happen to be the critic. And not once have they consulted with young people. And so as a party, we have an opportunity there as well. But certainly, it's about making sure that we're speaking their language in their medium and speaking to the issues that they want to talk to us about and letting them know that we're hearing them.
And it isn't just a question of ideas. Folks, we have to actually go out and do the organizing work and make the contacts. Yeah, of course, yeah. When Canadian Federation of Students had a demonstration in Toronto about tuition fees at Queen's Park, I was out there with the students. When young people ran in ridings in Ontario that weren't getting much support from the party, I went out and canvassed with them. I showed them how to canvass. We can't spend all of our time and all our focus on Queen's Park. What we're saying is quite correct. Agreed. We don't have money. In fact, we're $4 million in debt. What we do have are human resources, volunteers, talent, ability that we have to bring together and mobilize. And the people that we have in Queen's Park are our best organizers right now, our MPPs. Spend less time in Queen's Park, more time in the community, more time organizing with young people. That will give us the results.
I'm telling you, and I disagree with Gilles, we have 8 active campus clubs across this province. We probably have another dozen or so trying to form. Even if we have 20 and you give them $1,000 each in the first year and maybe more after that, you give them that money, that's $20,000. If we cannot afford that, we should not be in the political game. This is our future. Those campus clubs are the grounds for getting new people involved, for the grounds for getting new potential members to run for us, the grounds for getting people who will do research for us, who will work for us. They will do 100 times more in terms of organizing for $1,000 than I think any of us could, or being paid organizers. We need to involve them, and I think that this would be money well spent, and I would be prepared to spend all of $8 or $10 or $12 or $20,000 in order to start that crucible. We have candidates who are 20 and 22 years old. Where do you think they come from? They come from ONDP, and we need to encourage them.